Welcome to adilas. This is a brief tutorial on reoccurring invoices. To locate your reoccurring invoices, you would come under System Assets to your Reoccurring Invoices homepage. And once you click on Go, you'll end up on your Reoccurring Invoice homepage, which will automatically show you underneath this heading here what needs to be invoiced. If I back this date up here just to show you some details, you can see that on Saturday 8/1/09 we had one invoice that needed to be complete, and none of these have been completed. So I can actually click on this here, and it takes it and it says who, the type that the invoice that needs to be reoccurred, and you can put in notes, and then you can go down to the bottom here and you can duplicate your invoice. This will let you duplicate up to 10 at a time. So if I had, say, 20 here that needed to be completed on Saturday, when I click on that 20, it's going to queue up 10 of those invoices. As you complete those 10 invoices, then it will queue up the next 10 invoices. As these invoices are queued up, for instance, if this one was going to be recurred on 1/8/1, the next date might be would be 9/1, and so on and so forth, all the way, depending on what the date range is. To search your reoccurring invoices, if you click on Search Reoccurring Invoices, these show the invoices that are active. So we have an active sum of $25,000 in invoices, and it looks like we have we have some that's inactive for $425. You can open your search hide criteria here, and you can request that I just want to see my active invoices, which would show you just your active invoices over here. And each one of these invoices, you have the ability to edit the invoice. You also have the ability to view a master, and you can look at year to date, which gives you all of the activity for that year. And you can look at payment history, which payment history gives you the entire payment history of that client. You can also go to the log for that client if you want to put some log notes in, or you want to record a status update on that client. You can. You can also look at customer history, which will give you a breakdown of anything that's happened within that customer history. So once again, I was on the Reoccurring Invoice homepage, and to show you some data, I just backed it up, and all of these invoices that are ready to reoccur will automatically show up as you reoccur them. They'll be queued up again for the next cycle and the next round. It's important to understand too that in order to set one of these, to create a new one, here's create new reoccurring item, you have to have a master invoice number. So what you would do is you would create a new invoice, which there's quite a few other tutorials on how to create an invoice. Once you have that invoice created, say you want to bill John $50 a month on the 22nd, and you created an invoice, and say that invoice number was $398. Once you put in that invoice number, you can set your time period to monthly. You would set it to go off on the day of the 10th, and then if today was the 10th, we'll say today was January 10th, well, the next one we would want to do would be on the 2nd. So you've already billed them once on this invoice for the day. You want to reoccur it now 1 month ahead of time. So you would set your monthly, set your date, and set your first day to reoccur, and then add your reoccurring. Once you add that, it's going to show up on this search, and it's going to have your master invoice number over here, and then it's also going to show your location, what your customer was, and the amount that you're going to be billing them, your time status, and also your start date and the last day that that action was complete. In other words, the last day that that invoice was reoccurred. So once again, we were looking from the main switchboard homepage, and we went under System Assets to the Reoccurring Invoices, and this takes us to the Reoccurring Invoice homepage. Here's where we would create a new one. Here's where we would search for all of the current ones we have, and here is where this report is automatically going to show you the ones that are queued up that need to be reoccurred. And that concludes our reoccurring, and thanks for choosing adilas.